Hi quilters, I'm Shelley Robson at the Quilted Forest, and it's December, which means it's time to pick our project of the month for December. And through the process of elimination, the only one that's left is project number 3. So for me, that means I'm going to be working on a quilt top that is already put together. Hopefully I just have to quilt it and bind it. I may need to make some decisions about how to do the edges. And this quilt is fantastic. It's a diamond star, absolutely beautiful. And I got to figure out how I want to quilt it and how I want to do the edges. So hopefully this one won't be too bad to finish off. Kind of looking forward to this one. So we will see by the end of the month if I get it done or not. Hopefully it's a yes. I'm not going to go back over all the projects this year because later in the month I'm going to do another video that kind of wraps up the year. But to give you some updates on the things I haven't finished yet, I haven't done project number 1, which was my applique butterflies, and I'm still working on project 12, which was my Irish chain. But what I've decided to do is to combine those. So I'm remaking all of the blocks from the Irish chain. So they were poorly put together and not very well done. So I've taken the whole block apart down to individual pieces. Once I take everything apart, I'm using the grid to put the blocks back together so that they're kind of stabilized a little bit so the fabrics won't feel quite as flimsy and thin. I'm using the plain blocks as a place to put the butterflies from project number 1. So instead of having plain blocks here, I'm going to have the Irish chain corners, and then I'm having 4 butterflies in each of the blocks. I'm going to make the quilt slightly smaller than it was before because some of the pieces that were in these blocks are too damaged to use for finishing it out. So I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller so I can use all the pieces I have. So that's how I'm working on that block. Number 10 was actually a much fuller bucket, and I made 1 quilt, and I'm going to use the rest of the blocks to make a different colorway. Number 7 and number 8 have been ignored, and I feel really bad for them, but they'll get done someday. The project for October was my little hexagon quilt, and I got it taken apart, but I haven't had any chance to work on it since. But it might end up coming back next year to play again. So there'll be another update by the end of the month, and we'll see how I did and show you all the finished quilts. Also, I want you to start thinking about what kind of projects you want to have in 2025, because we're going to do this again next year. And at the beginning of the year, we'll have my list of 12 will come out, and I'll show you all the things I'm hoping to get done. And then we will hear from you in the comments about the kinds of things you want to get done. So be thinking ahead to 2025. The other thing I've been working on this year has been my Splendid Sampler blocks. I have 5 more that I finished this month, so while I didn't get other things done, I did manage to get some blocks done. Now this block is called Happy Trail. It's by Judy and Jean. I'm not sure if I'm saying her name right, but that's what I came up with. And this block, 6.5 inches, and it has 158 squares that are 1 inch. And see the back side, all the seams? So that one was a little tricky to work on, and there were even some half square triangles that I had to do that were teeny tiny. It's kind of fun to make. The next one is called Lots of Hexies by Yvonne Bustegger. I don't know if I said that right either, but that was my best shot at that. And that was all hand pieced, so those are little tiny hexies. I got this block done. This one is called Quilting Music by Jane Davidson. This is called Stitch and Paws by Richie Layson Jr. Another name I'm not sure I'm saying right. The 5th block I got done this month is called My Own Little Corner by Shannon Gilman Orr. So now that I got done with those 5 blocks, I only have 3 more blocks left. So out of 100 blocks, I now have 97 done. So I'm really excited about hopefully getting at least all the blocks done by the end of the year. I hope you have a fantastic December and get a chance to work on project number 3. And if you don't, well, it's the holiday season, so sometimes it gets a little rough. Thanks for watching, and happy quilting! No reason to draw a number when there's only one left.
What a surprise! Number what?
Imagine!